What's up everybody? I hope you're doing well. So I've made a video in the past talking about how valuable it is to set your schedule in private practice based on your ideal schedule rather than trying to accommodate what you think your potential client's ideal schedule is. Now, naturally, many of you have followed up saying, okay, well, how do I go about telling my clients now that I want to change my schedule from my less than ideal schedule to a new one? Or, maybe just your schedule is changing and you don't know how to communicate to your clients that you're making that change. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna offer a few different tips and tools to make sure you navigate that transition smoothly while also communicating it clearly to your clients. And I've done this before multiple times and I've never lost any clients along the way, so we'll also address that issue as well. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. So you're wanting to change your private practice schedule because who knows, maybe when you started your practice, you were only seeing clients in evenings and weekends because you thought that was the only time people were free to schedule with you. Or, maybe your kids' extracurricular activities are shifting and so you have to shift your schedule accordingly as well. Whatever the reasons, life happens and we need to change our schedules. I've changed my schedule so many times since I've started in private practice over the years. I probably end up changing my schedule about once a year in some pretty significant way. So I have lots of experience with doing this and I've seen what works and doesn't work out so well. But one thing that I felt myself earlier on and that I've heard from so many of you is that if you somehow move your schedule to more daytime hours or just change your schedule in general, that you're gonna lose clients. And this doesn't have to be the case. Let me offer some tips to help you mitigate that possibility in this video. Tip number one, if you're gonna change your schedule, if possible, give your clients ample notice. Ideally, you're giving people more than a few days or even a couple of weeks heads up that your schedule is changing. Personally, I try to give several months runway. And the benefit of this is twofold. First, it gives your clients plenty of time to figure out and adjust their schedule before the schedule change comes. And it also ensures continuity of care so that if there's anyone who's not able to accommodate your schedule change, you have plenty of time to wrap up your counseling services and transition them to somebody else if need be. But just a heads up, I've never had to use that latter option. Everyone's always been able to make it work and are especially grateful for having adequate heads up in advance. Another tip to consider in order to make this a smooth transition is to consider phasing into the new schedule over time. So rather than just saying on this date, I'm not working Mondays anymore, I'm gonna be on Tuesdays instead, it might look like, all right, right now I'm seeing clients from 9 to 4 on Mondays, and eventually I'd like to see them from 9 to 4 on Tuesdays. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start by dropping my mornings on Mondays and moving that to Tuesday morning. If you have the flexibility to kind of phase into the shift like that, that's an option to make it a smoother transition. However, if you don't have the luxury of that, or that just sounds stressful, you don't have to follow this tip. This is just if you're feeling a little bit nervous about making the transition abruptly without clients being able to onboard readily for it. The third tip is when you do book new clients to see you, only book them in your new ideal schedule time slots. So if you are in the camp of working evenings and weekends, but you really would prefer to only see clients in the daytime, even if theoretically you could see a new client at Wednesday night at 7 p.m., but you're not wanting to work evenings anymore, then just say, hey, here's my schedule. I'm available on Wednesdays from noon to 4 or whatever it is, and just book new clients at your ideal time slots going forward. Again, you don't have to do it this way at all. It's just an option for creating a lot of extra runway for all of your clients to feel cared for and accommodated without losing any of those clients if you don't want to. And then whether you've had the luxury of giving several months heads up about your schedule change, or if you're only able to give a few weeks notice, either way, whenever that date is coming up on your schedule where you're fully and officially making this schedule change, you just need to be completely upfront with your clients. This isn't a time to say, hey, would you happen to be free on Monday instead of Tuesday, or whatever the shift is. It's time to say, as a reminder, here's my new schedule. Here are my available time slots for next week or the next couple weeks. what time slot works best for you of these available slots. Now, if you didn't have that luxury of giving several months heads up, and let's say you could only give a month or even just a couple of weeks notice about your schedule change, because sometimes such is life and what are you gonna do? You may have a little bit more pushback, or maybe some clients who aren't able to hop on board to that schedule change right away, but they might be able to come on board within some time, and you probably won't lose too many clients over it. And over the years, this strategy has worked tried and true for me, whether it was shifting from weekends only to weekdays only, or evenings only to daytimes only. I've even made the shift from working in San Francisco only to working in San Jose only, which depending on traffic is anywhere from a 1 to 2 hour commute. And even then, many of my San Francisco clients followed me down and met with me in person or switched to teletherapy at the time. I only lost a few of those clients when I made that transition. So if you do it well, you don't necessarily have to lose your clients. And of course, for those clients who either aren't able to or choose not to meet you at your new schedule, it's very important to have a transition plan in place for them and to make sure you communicate very clearly about referrals and what sorts of resources they have should they choose not to continue meeting with you at your new time slot. Well, I hope you found this video helpful if you're wanting to make any changes to your private practice schedule for whatever reason. And most importantly, I don't want anyone to feel like they're not able to or not allowed to change their schedule if that's a change you're wanting to make. And before we close, I want to thank TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. TherapyNotes really helps with all practice management needs. And super fun update, the TherapyNotes HIPAA Secure telehealth platform is now 100% free for all of their EHR platform users, which makes TherapyNotes one of the most affordable all-in-one options available. If you'd like to check out TherapyNotes, you can get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you would add any tips as far as how you go about a schedule shift or informing your clients that you're changing your schedule. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. There's different ways to go about, I'm just blabbering. From one therapist to another, I wish you well. I'm gonna do that again, it felt weird.